Hey guys, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Umineko When They Cry, episode number 7. So yes, let us just continue our journey or the tale of our friend here, Yasu. So let's do this. The months and years slid by. In my new, more colorful life, I smiled at the spring sunshine, peeking through the trees, gazed up at the column of the summer clouds. Enjoyed the piles of fallen leaves in the autumn, and played in the winter snow the few times it did fall. As these days passed one after another, there was a considerable change to my environment. The servants coming from Fukuin House had switched. There weren't specific grades like in school, so there was no rule saying how long a servant could work before quitting. Each servant made their own decision about when they would graduate from Rokinjima. Some of those who couldn't stand the environment would quit in as little as 3 days. After all, life on Rokinjima was strict. It was also strict in the Fukuin house, of course, but there were a lot of Rokinjima only rules. And Natsuhi, the one who supervised the servants, was also very authoritarian. It was probably easy to feel trapped. The trapped feeling and the money sat on opposite sides of the scale that they used to decide the time of their graduation. And sometimes someone from the Oshiromiya family would use their influence to secure someone a new job, encouraging them to spread their wings and start a new life. The cycle usually lasted 2 or 3 years. No one decided this, but it was one of the goals most servants shot for, an unspoken rule. However, I was an exception to that rule. I continued to go to school on Nijima while still living as a servant. That year, all of the Fukuin house servants quit at once. It wasn't at all rare for friends to quit at the same time as each other. As all of my fellow servants from the Fukuin house graduated from the island at once, leaving only me behind. Of course, I wasn't on particularly good terms with them. On the contrary, it was annoying to be treated like a kid and called Yasu all the time. Though some new servants had come after me, the older ones had already gotten them believing that Yasu loses things all the time. So it wasn't really any more pleasant to have new comrades. Those unpleasant older servants, as well as the ones who started at the same time, or after I did, all quit at once. The Oshiromiya family made no effort to stop them from leaving. Adult servants were easier to handle in the first place. The Fukuin house servants were only accepted so they could be trained. And so, all of the servants besides me left and no one tried to stop them.
じゃあね、ヤス。あんた、物をなくしたりするんじゃないわよ。
I don't lose things anymore.
じゃあね。奥様の言うことよく聞くのよ。後から来る仲間に迷惑かけるんじゃないわよ。未だに謎よね。どうしてヤスはここに推薦されたの？
それを言ったら、未だに奥様がヤスの勤務を認めてる方が意外だわ。
逃げ出さない分だけ根性があるってもんだ。しっかりな、ヤス。
I hate being called Yasu. At the very end, I finally said the one thing I'd always wanted to say to them. However, they basically ignored me and just picked up their things and left.
みんなとはついにお友達になれなかったね。
I mean, you can't really be friends with them, they don't really like you. I didn't even want to.
向こうもそうだったろうし、おあいこだね。あの人たちのことはもう忘れちゃおう。もうお互い何の関わりもない。だから心に留める必要もない。
Yeah, you're right. I felt just a bit disappointed. I never got a chance to prove to them that I could take care of myself.
人は最初の印象をいつまでも引きずる生き物だからね。だから仕方がない。あなたがどんなに素晴らしい人間に成長しても、彼女らはきっといつまでもヤスと呼び続けてあなたをバカにしたと思うもの。そんな人たちに認めさせようと思うなんて全然意味のないことなんだよ。
Yes. Yeah, you're right, Shannon. I'll completely forget about those people.
それがいいよ。あなたには私や熊沢さんなどの素敵な友達がいるじゃない。そして新しい使用人の人たちの前では今度は一人前の姿を見せてあげればいい。
Shannon was exactly right. Ever since that day when I held the key with the spiderweb charm up high, I had regained my confidence and pride. I am now the most experienced Fukuin servant. The new servants who come will still probably be older than me, but I need to teach them the ropes as the more experienced servant. Genji-sama even told me to lead the newer servants as a senpai. Okay, I'll give it my all.
その意気だね。一緒に頑張ろう。
Yes. So we're gonna get the other stakes as the new servants? I mean, not everyone was here, right?
アスネと申します。
Okay, there we go. So we're getting the other ones.
よろしくお願いいたします。
Asne.
ベルネと申します。
Belne. Asne and Belne.
よろしくお願いします。
The newly arrived servants looked a bit superficial. When I first joined the Oshiromiya family, I was incredibly nervous. However, I couldn't see any trace of that nervousness on these girls.
ええ。基本的には成績が優秀で貧困法制な子が選ばれます。
What are the names again? Asne and Belne? Okay, Asne and Belne.
どうやって選ぶの？
Do they even appear here? No. Yeah, they don't appear here. But it's technically Asmodeus and Beelzebub.
誰が選ぶの？
理事の先生方が来て面接をされるんです。他にも日頃の素行とか。じゃあ先生の前でだけいい子ぶってても合格できちゃうってことも？まあ先生が見て良いと判断されれば合格することも。
福音の家よりやってくる子たちはいつだって個性的だった。それが使用人としての日々の中で研磨され、やがては後宮家の使用人の名に恥じない立派な姿に成長していくのだ。とはいえそれを促すのは先輩使用人たちの役目。今や我だけが古参である以上、彼女らを立派に導く責務があるのだ。
新しく来た子たちはどんな感じだった？
もちろんエリートね。貧困法制な。奥様や源氏様の前ではそうだったと思います。でも目上の方がいらっしゃらないときはちょっと不真面目だったみたいで。アスネさん、お道具は使うたびにちゃんと台車に戻してください。え？はーい、ごめんなさい。
I also have to be alert as a more experienced servant. And Belness-san, you shouldn't set your key down in a place like that. Is she gonna play tricks on them as well? You'll lose it.
なくしません。私、置いた場所は絶対忘れませんから。
When I first arrived here, the older servants would often tell me off just as I had done now. They would probably have been mean and obnoxious about it. I hated that, so I tried to be more gentle when admonishing them, but they wouldn't take me seriously. So listen up. You know there's a witch living in the mansion, don't you?
おお、ベアトリーチェよ。
So they already know the legend.
それ似てる。
Sounded like him?
まさかシャノンちゃんも。
You say Shannon-chan.
それ、信じてるわけじゃないですよね。
Also, now she's being called Shannon-chan. Okay, instead of Yasu.
いえ、本当にいるんですよ。
Seriously, it's honestly, what do you call this? Confusing. Yeah.
物をほったらかしにしておくと、魔女がいたずらして隠したりするんですよ。
It's true. I've gotten into trouble many times because of it.
魔女が物を隠すなんて。そんなことあるわけないじゃないですか。魔女なんてそんなのいるわけないし。
Big mistake that they said that. Big mistake.
いるわけないです。
Yep. Now she's gonna show you that they exist.
魔女なんて。いたずらだと思ってました。いや、そう思っていられるうちが気楽だった気がします。
魔女ベアトリーチェは確かにいたと思う。
私は信じない。ベアトリーチェであったかはわかりません。でも人間じゃない何かは確かにあのお屋敷にいたんじゃないかと思います。人間じゃない何かというのはベアトリーチェの可能性もあると思う？バカバカしい。私もバカバカしいと思いたい。あれはきっとヤスのいたずら。仕返しでしょ。私も最初はそう思ったけれど。
いたずらでは説明できないことがあった？
必要というか、具体的にはどんなことがあったの？置いたものがふっと振り返った拍子にはもうないんです。ヤスが隠したんでしょ。最初はそう思った。そう考えるのが自然だった。でも違和感も覚えてた。あんな気弱な子がそこまでえげつないことするかなってずっと思ってた。
どんなことがあったか話して。
鍵束がなくなった時には私が見てない隙にヤスがひょいってどこかに隠したんだろうと思えた。でも鍵束から一つの鍵だけが消えてて、それがありもしないところから出てくるなんて考えられない。その鍵だけあんたが見てない隙に引っこ抜いたんじゃないの？そんなのできる？実際に鍵束を丸ごとひょいっと隠すならともかく、鍵束から鍵を一つ抜き取るって考えれば考えるほどに簡単じゃないよ。ガチャガチャガチャガチャ、すぐそこで私が背中を向けてるのよ。そんなこと悠長にやってたらいくら私がバカでも気がつく。でも音もなくスーッと鍵が一つだけ消えていた。あの時に初めて気がついたの。これ逆ギレしたヤスのいたずらじゃなくて もっとそのやばいもんなんじゃねって。その紛失した鍵はどこから見つかったの？私のロッカーから。ベルネうっかり屋だからさ、ひょいって鍵をそれだけ外してロッカーにしまったのを忘れてたんじゃないの？鍵束からなんでわざわざその鍵だけを外すわけ？ハスね、鍵束の鍵外したり、古い私も試してみた。
So the thing is, let's just say something like this. If you were outside, let's say, yeah, you were living in the Fukuin house, right? And then you were told stories about this stuff, you wouldn't really believe it, right? You would say like, oh, it's just a legend or whatever, right? But then when you are now working in the Rokinjima Island, a place that is pretty much closed off, and people there, or let's say it's normal or common knowledge there about Beatrice and the disappearing things, and then when you experience it firsthand, you're gonna be like, oh my god, what is happening here, right? You're gonna be scared. So it's how do I say this? Even though, let's say, yeah, it's just Yasu, and then maybe we'll just say Kumasawa was playing along with it, they were the ones doing it, that legend of Beatrice was becoming real just because of that, right? It technically is real because of that. Even if it's not really a ghost, it was just, yes, them playing around Yasu. It is becoming real to the other people like this. Like look at her story, right? She's saying it is not a person, it is not Yasu, it was inhuman, right? The way she's telling it now she's believing that there is a ghost Beatrice there, and said ghost was taking the keys, and then suddenly it's gonna be appearing on her locker, etc. like that. So now the legend, even though it's not real, it is becoming real.
あれすごく硬い。わざわざやらない。やる意味ないし。私無遊病。自分でやったことの記憶さえないっての？私バカだけどそこまでバカじゃない。私そこまで自分のこと忘れてたりしない。それに私の鍵さ、確実に部屋に入った時はあったよ。じゃなきゃあの部屋の鍵、私どうやって開けたわけよ。だからさ、音をさせないようにさ、スルリとヤスがうまく鍵を抜いてベルネのロッカーに隠したんだよ、きっと。私も最初はそう思った。ヤスに舐めたことすんじゃねって食ってかかった。でも言いながら思ってた。これ絶対変じゃねって。だってさ、あの日私たちずっとヤスと一緒に部屋回ってたわけでしょ。鍵をカチャカチャ外すほどの隙は絶対ないよ。ヤスには無理っていうか誰にも不可能だよ。音をさせずに、それもわずかの隙に鍵を一本だけ抜き取るなんて。受け取った時からもうマスターキーが一本足りなかったとか。だから言ってんじゃん。ちゃんと鍵は最初あった。あの部屋の鍵を開けたのは私だから絶対鍵はあった。で、部屋に入って私バカだから鍵のジャラジャラが嫌いでひょいとベッドの上に置いといた。それで掃除終わって鍵束取って施錠しようとしたらもうなかった。背中を向けてはいたけれど鍵のすぐそばにいた。だから誰かが鍵を一本だけ抜くなんていたずらをして悠長にガチャガチャ言わせたらすぐわかる。なのに にその部屋の鍵一本だけがスーッと蒸発して私のロッカーの中に。いいよ、ヤスがこっそりやったって仮定してもいい。そう考えると気楽になれるもん。でもね、じゃあどうやってロッカーに入れたわけ？ヤス、私たちとずっと一緒じゃん。
I mean, that's why I think that, yeah, Kumasawa was or is playing along with Yasu here. Like, they're always talking with each other, so more or less, Kumasawa is, yeah, playing along with this. And honestly, I mean, is it good? Is it bad? But, yeah.
私がないないって大騒ぎしてあちこち探し回ってロッカーの中で見つけるまでずっと一緒だったじゃん。ありえないって。私、ヤスに当たり散らしながら感じ始めてた。というか、ヤスの瞳がさ、無言で言ってるわけ。あの子の言うさ、いつの間にか物がなくなってるって。
But actually, Beatrice.
みんなが言うようにあの子がぼんやりしてるんじゃなくて、私と同じで突然ありえないことが起こって、そのヤスはずっと一緒だったからロッカーに入れるのは不可能？
Honestly, like, this episode is pretty much revealing everything, but they're still not trying, but giving us some maybe, no, just like one with Jessica, correct? Like how or who scared Jessica a couple in the earlier chapters of this episode, right? You're still gonna be theorizing like, oh, who did that, right? And then now you're gonna be theorizing again. So who did this? If it's not just Yasu alone, who did this with her?
そんなおかしなことが他にも。
I mean, if you're looking like clearly or just focusing on the story, you would notice that, yeah, Kumasawa was the one or is the one most likely helping Yasu with this. Not like helping, it's not like they're planning this or something, but yeah, they're just doing it on a whim, I guess.
そう。物がなくなるとか、単純にそれだけじゃないことが、その後も、他にも、何度も何度も。
No, not on a whim, but more on, it was, let's just say, it was normal for them to do. Like, they've been doing this to the other servants that, when they start doing this, it's much more, what is the word for it? Not casual, but, yeah, it's like, if Yasu does something and then Kumasawa would just do something automatically. They don't need to talk to each other. I think it's something like that. Yeah, I think it's kind of like that.
さすがに薄気味悪くなって、物とかその辺に置かないように気をつけたけど、最初こそヤスなめんなって思ってたけど。
Like they know each other too well. It's kind of like they would synchronize so easily. So if Yasu did something and then Kumasawa heard about it, she's gonna act on her own, and then, yeah, I guess it's like that.
途中からマジでこれは違うって理解し始めた。
Because I don't think Yasu is ordering Kumasawa, at least right now when she was a kid, right? So it's more or less like them just doing this so the legend of Beatrice could spread.
私がポケットに入れっぱなしにしてたはずの鍵束から鍵が消えたことだってある。私は気づいた。ヤスがいたずらしてんじゃない。ヤスも私も同じ何かにやられてるんじゃないかって。
落ち着きなよ。私は一部はヤスのいたずら、それ以外のほとんどはベルネのうっかりか勘違いだと思ってるよ。確かに屋敷はいつも薄暗くてどこか薄気味悪かったし、なんかたたりとか呪いとかそんなのがあってもおかしくなさそうな雰囲気はあった。 そのせいできっとベルネはおかしな方向に怯えちゃったんじゃないかなって。あんただって見たでしょ。ほら、あの雨の日、記念室に消えるおかしな白い影を見たでしょ。見たけど、白い何かを着た奥様かお嬢様じゃない？白い何かって何？そんな服を着てるの奥様もお嬢様も見たことないよ。というか、あの貴賓室いつも施錠されてるし、奥様とかは鍵持ってないし、あれは絶対幽霊とか亡霊とか。絶対に魔女の影だった。とまあ、途中からベルネはこんな感じ。すっかり怯えてしまった。私はすれてるから。ベルネがビビればビビるほど魔女なんてバカらしい、そんなのいるわけないって思いを強くしたけど、でもさすがに空気を読まざるを得なかった。というか、うかつに口にしない方がいい話題だと気づき始めてた。怪談とかたたりってさ、部外者が聞くと本当にバカバカしい。でもね、そこにいる当事者からすると全然笑えない。あれは本当に笑えない話だったよ。アスネはちっとも私の話を信じてくれなかった。だから私、途中からアスネに相談するのやめて、ヤスに打ち明けて相談したの。私はあんたのいたずらだと思ってたけど、絶対にあんたじゃない。なんかおかしなものにやられてるって。
そうしたらなんて。
自分も同じようなことが何度もあったけど、誰に相談しても信じてくれなかったって。第一、先輩とかはヤスのことバカにしてたけど、ヤスは言われるほどドジでもバカでもなかった。年下に仕切られるのはムカつくからいつも反抗してたけど、仕事は割とそつなくこなしてた。そんなヤスがそこまでバカにされるほど物をなくすなんてことあるのかなって不思議に思ってた。だから確信したの。いる。このお屋敷には人間とは異なる何かおかしなものがいるって。
Some inhuman thing existed in this mansion.
それが魔女ベアトリーチェだと？
もしそれがそう呼ばれるものならば信じる。
Yeah, now look at this. Now she's a believer, right? Earlier she was like, that's nothing. Now she believes it. So the legend of Beatrice is getting power now. Because, yeah, people are starting to believe.
とにかく人間じゃ説明ができないものが確かにあの屋敷にはいたの。
Cannot be explained by human actions. It definitely existed there. Couldn't be explained because you don't know how it was done. It was not done by one person. It was done by at least two persons. And yes, if you don't know, your feelings are just you're scared. You're not gonna think about anything else anymore.
それを理解できない人たちが私やヤスのことをドジだのうっかりだの勝手に言ってた。分かってない。全然分かってない。でもベルネもさすがにヤバいと思ってしっかりするようになったじゃん。そしたら物がなくなるとかの騒ぎなくなったじゃん。
After that, all that fuss about you losing things went away, right? So she stopped doing it.
やっぱりベルネの勘違いだったんだよ。
So she, like, the goal was to just make Belne feel or experience something like that for her to believe on Beatrice. And then after that was done, Yasu didn't do it again. Yeah, it was finished. It was over.
違うよ
What happened again?
私ヤスにシャノに熊沢さんとかにも相談したのそしたらやっぱり魔女はいるって
And then look at this. Yasu, Shannon, Kumasawa. They said the witch really did exist. So yeah. Give the witch more power. But just people believing in it.
古いシオニーたちはみんなちゃんと敬ってるって私はベアトリーチェなんているわけないって堂々とバカにしてたからたたられたんだってだから心を入れ替えたヤスに貴賓室の人形のお参りの仕方を習った源氏様に頼んで鎮守の社にもお参りさせてもらったそしたら収まったのピタリとアスネも途中から魔女のことバカにしなくなったからよかったけどもしも空気読まずにずっとバカにし続けてたら今度はあんたがタタリの標的にされてたに違いない私が保証するよ絶対にあんたがたたられてたさすがに私もドン引くかな口に出して言いやしないけどあんた分かってない本当に分かってないよだから私は新しい後輩にはきちっと教えたよこのお屋敷にはベアトリーチ様という魔女がいるバカにするとマジでたたるからってベルネ物がね消えたらそれは魔女がすぐ近くにいて私たちを見てるって合図なんだよいたずらだとか魔女なんかいるわけないとかそんなことを言ったらもっともっとたたられてしまう私もヤスもそう鍵が消えたらそれは魔女が現れた印
Belna-san carelessly tossed the key, or her keyring I mean, on the bed again, humming as she started to clean. No matter how much I warn her, she doesn't change her ways. She's always making fun of me and calling me Yasu, so she won't listen to what I tell her. Why won't she listen to what I say? You mustn't leave things carelessly about. If you lower your guard, the witch will prank you. Like, look at this, she's doing it again. Stop it, please. That's Belnasansky. Like, honestly, I'm seeing, like, when we're seeing it like this, yeah, you're seeing, like, oh, Yasu is, her mental state is, I mean, obviously, right, not really good. So how she's doing this is, she is basically, yeah, she made Beatrice, this one, right, Gaap, technically, and let's just say, like, Beatrice is possessing her to do this, and she's taking the key, doing whatever, doing her prank, but her other, let's say, other personality, her Yasu personality is like, stop it, please don't do it, that's Belnaski. Something like that. It's honestly very, very confusing to explain, because it's one character, right? I am one, but many. Yes. Keep your pranking to me alone. Let the others be. Like her Yasu, let's just say personality. Let's just say that Yasu personality is the one trying to be good, but then there's this other one, Beatrice, that's doing the pranks. But technically it is still her, right?
そなたは最近すっかり用心深くなって面白くなかったところだ。
but it's not really like, how do you call this? Remember, if you watch the movie Split, like said person there had a lot of different personalities that he couldn't control. Like it's shifting. Like one time he would be this person, and then next time he would be this person. He couldn't control it. But for Yasu right here, she can control all of these personalities, let's say, right? She can do that. Like if she's doing this, she can just act like she's Beatrice. If she can act like she's Shannon. She can act like she's Canon whenever she wanted to. It's actually like that for her. It's not really like split personality kind of stuff that you couldn't control. Like it's just coming out, right? Like there's actually a disorder like that you couldn't really control it. But for Yasu, she can control it.
冗談冗談。それにしても我が友が親切に忠告しているというのに耳を貸さぬとは不愉快な奴らよ。我が友を蔑む言動の数々、わらわに対するものと受け取らせてもらおうぞ。
Technically, it's like an actor playing different characters or different roles. That's basically, I think, the best explanation for Yasu here. Yes. Are you planning to steal Belnisansky? Please don't do it. She'll think I hit it again.
わらわの魔法をそなたごときの仕業と見下すか。ならばよかろう。人間には無理なことを見せてやればよい。我が魔法を見せてやる。愚かなるベルネとやら、我が友の忠告に耳を貸さなかったことを後悔させてくれる。この希薄な体では物足りぬ。借りるぞ、そなたの体。久々に本当の魔法を見せてやりたくなったぞ。わずかのひととき、再び我が身を現世に。
A shiver ran up my whole body like an electric shock. From that moment onwards, I couldn't move any part of my body by my own will. Like a moment of shock after a blackout. I could do nothing but accept the fact that I had lost control over myself. All of the cells throughout my body felt tingly. It felt as though my body had been transformed into someone else. I realized that the witch Beatrice was using my body as a vessel to revive for a short period of time. See? Using my body, so technically possessed, right? She's saying that she's being possessed for a moment, for a short period of time.
いいぞ。
She's being possessed to do the pranks. She's not the one doing it. It's Beatrice the one doing it.
この外気の肌をくすぐる感覚。いや。
What are you trying to do? Please, don't do anything mean. This time, everything was backwards. My words were spoken inside my heart. And the witch's voice was coming out of my mouth.
怯えるな。すぐに体は返す。ささやかないたずらで懲らしめるだけであるわ。そなたが疑われるような安っぽい真似はせぬ。さあさあ、思い出してごらんなさい。そなたがどこにて眠っていたのやら。
Everything went completely white and my mind stopped. Once again, the tingling sensation slid up my body. I could feel it all gather in the fingers of both my hands and come out of the tips of my fingers. It was unfathomable, indescribable, unknown sensation. My head went blank and I couldn't think at all. I could do nothing but abandon my soul to the sensation. I finally understood. This is what it's like to use magic.
さあさあ、思い出してごらんなさい。そなたがどこにて眠っていたのやら。
My finger was moved like a puppet and danced around as though I was conducting music. I never knew that having my body move without my control could be so exciting. When Beato lifted my finger as if a string was attached to it, the key ring lying on the bed stood on end. Honestly, we need Will here. Will, we need you here. Counter it and just say that, oh, it was just you. You were pretending to be possessed. Bell-Nisan didn't notice, neither did Asne-san. They were fully occupied by their happy chat as they cleaned the room. I doubt that either of them would have dreamed that a witch was right behind them, readying herself to use magic. They probably couldn't even imagine the keyring doing a little dance right behind their backs. It was like a cartoon fairy tale I'd seen once as a kid. And Spun, or in the Happy Keys, the way they dance, and Spun made it look as though they had a will of their own. I could feel the fun of making those keys dance with fingers wash over me. Yes, this is pleasure. As I powerlessly watched the witch control me, I couldn't help but surrender myself to this new joy called magic.
おっと、いけないいけない。鍵束ごとなくしてはまた我が友が疑われてしまうな。いなくなるのはそう、この部屋の鍵だけでよい。
Beata controlled my fingers, controlling the magic, and thereby controlling the keys. The keyring slumped down on the bed, and then just the mansion's master key stood on end.
さて、この鍵をどうしてやろうか。ただ消し去るだけではつまらぬというもの。ならば。そやつのロッカーにでも放り込んでおくか。これならばずっと一緒にここで掃除をしている我が友にはアリバイがあるというもの。さあさあ、思い出してごらんなさい。そなたがどこで眠っていたのやら。そう、そこは暖かくて暗い場所。ベルネのロッカーの中であるわ。
When Beato snapped her fingers, the key burst and became a gold butterfly. A gold butterfly? I see, it's gold, but she's a golden witch who gave the master all of this gold. And butterflies are scared of spiderwebs. So it's a gold butterfly. The minions of the witch Beatrice and Gor are gold butterflies. After flitting into the air, it burst into a shower of gold sparks and disappeared. And then the vanished key was in Bell-Nisan's locker. Though it was far away in a changing room locker, I could tell exactly how it happened. It wasn't by sight or by touch. It was by some other sense inside my heart which couldn't be explained by the five senses. A completely new sensation that I'd never felt before. It was the completely alien concept called magic. A completely unknown pleasure that left me in a trance.
もうよいぞ、我が友よ。この体、そなたに返すぞ。
Okay. So yeah, I think this could be explained as just her taking the key, and then you could say that Kumasawa was passing by and she gave it to Kumasawa. That's it. It's like very simple. It felt as though I had been spinning through space. Until gravity suddenly came back and threw me to the ground. Like when you're having a great dream but you wake up suddenly. And all you remember about the dream was that it's fun. That sort of lonely feeling. Because yes, if you don't think like out of the box, I guess. Like if you don't think that, oh, maybe Yasu. Like Yasu cannot do it because she was here, right? If you don't think that, oh, maybe someone is helping Yasu, you're gonna just believe in the magic, or you're gonna just say, oh, it's magic, it was done by magic. But if you can believe and you can think that maybe Kumasawa did it, or maybe Kumasawa was helping her or playing along with her, and then now you can have an explanation. But the thing is, for us, for me, like it's easy to see because we can see conversations between Yasu and Kumasawa. You can see them talking with each other, they have a nice relationship, right? But let's say for Belne and Azne, maybe they don't know that, right? They don't know that Yasu and Kumasawa are close with each other, so they wouldn't suspect someone like Kumasawa to be playing around or helping Yasu with her magic tricks, her tricks right here. So then, yes, magic is gonna be born, magic is gonna have the power, magic is gonna be real because of that. Though Beato had been borrowing my body, it was my own body that used magic. Are we gonna try and dissect this later? I want to though, yeah. Let's say maybe later Will is gonna come and he's gonna dissect what is happening in the scene. I would want that. I could still feel the sensation in my hands. The keyring over there had danced along with the movements of my fingers. No, and it's not quite it. The keyring and my fingers had danced together. That fun, that excitement, still tingled slightly in my hands.
おっと、いけないいけない。
Saying this, Belnasan turned around and picked up the keyring she had thrown down in the bed. She must have realized that I was staring at it.
またやすに鍵をこんなところに放り出さないでって怒られるところでした。私、置きっぱなしにして忘れたりなんかしませんから。
With a grin, she puts the key back into her pocket. However, she still hadn't noticed. She probably couldn't even imagine that just a single key had vanished while her back was turned for a second. It's not easy for a human to do things like that. But with magic, with just a little dance of the keys and a butterfly popping, it had disappeared.
はい、指先点検。ベッド OK。カーテン OK。お道具 OK。鍵も OK。ね？大丈夫でしょ？
Yes, that's good. Then let's go on to the next room. Bella-san, could you lock up this room for me?
はーい。
Did Bella-san's key really disappear by magic? Was that fun magic just a daydream I had? I was so scared of that being true that I tested it.
あれ？どうしたの？何やってんの？あれ？あれ？何これ？マジ？
Is gone.
これじゃないし。これじゃないし。え？あれ？どうしたの？鍵、私が閉める？ けわかんない。何これ。マスターキーがない。マスターキーだけない。どうして。こんな頑丈なのに抜けるわけないのに。
I could faintly feel that tingling sensation run across my fingers again. Damn, man, Yasu. She's always playing tricks on people. This is not healthy, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that night, as I gazed at the ceiling from the bed in my dorm room, I looked at my hands. I couldn't sleep. And the excitement from the time those keys danced was still there in my fingers. Is this how how witches always feel? I have a friend who's a witch called Beatrice. She's always used to pull pranks on me with her strange magic. Because I saw this all the time, I thought I knew what magic was. But today, she had possessed my body and used magic with it. The sensation of magic that I finally felt at the time still held my heart entranced. It was a completely unknown pleasure. After all, by moving my fingertips, I could make the key dance as I wished. It was a strange miracle of magic, something humans could not do. I still couldn't let go of that excitement. Shannon, are you awake?
Nani?
Shannon was still awake. Shannon is always early to bed, early to rise. By getting to bed early, all of her wariness disappears by the next day. She lives a model life, one that all servants should respect and admire. If I want to become a loved, respected servant like Shannon, I'll need to act that way too. However, I wasn't confident that I could do that anymore. I guess I can't become like you after all.
どうしたの？突然。
You were my ideal, always. So she couldn't become like she wanted to become something or someone like Shannon. So why couldn't she just do it on her own, right? Like, you're still Yasu, but you can be someone like Shannon. But no, instead of doing that, she just created another... I'm sorry if I keep saying personality, because it's much easier to just say personality, but yeah. Let's say personality character. Yeah, she did create someone like that, and it's Shannon. The perfect Shannon. It's not Yasu, it's Shannon. Everyone in the Fukuin house loves you and is kind to you. Since you always played with me, you're the only friend I've ever had. And you're also a wonderful servant who can carry out any task in the Oshiromiya mansion, both flawlessly and gracefully. You were the target I longed to reach. And that's what you were to me.
一緒に頑張ろうよ。ほら、石の上にも3年って言うよ。みんな、どんどんあなたを認めてくれているよ。
But honestly, I can kind of maybe like feel why she's like doing these things, because yeah, you can say that ever since even back then when she was a much more smaller child, she really didn't have anyone, right? She didn't really have anyone, and the only thing that she can have was these imaginary friends that she would create.
だから一緒に素敵な使用人を目指そうよ。
私、使用人やめる。
Wait, is that Yasu talking?
え？
Oh yeah, it was her. That was her talking.
使用人より魔女の方が面白そう。
She's not gonna be a servant anymore. Okay.
魔女って
So she's gonna be appearing as Shannon always now, is that it?
何の話？
So this is the time when Shannon became the servant of the Oshinomiya household.
みんなに愛されて頼りにされる使用人って、今ももちろん憧れるけど、
I did and still do wish I could be a servant loved and relied upon by
でも
everybody.
今の私には魔女の方が憧れるの。
それは、
Shannon was confused. It was hardly surprising. All this about quitting as a servant was at least understandable. But she didn't know how to answer after hearing that her roommate wanted to become a witch.
魔女ベアトリーチェ、今日ね、ベアトリーチェが私に乗り移って私の体を使って魔法を使ったの。その時その未知の世界にこうゾクゾクっとしたものを感じたの。それは後宮家の使用人に推薦されたことを知らされた時よりもずっと上、知らなかった世界を初めて知ったような、まるで暗闇の世界だけに住んでて世界を全て知っているようなつもりになっていた私が初めて光を知って世界を目にするような、そんな喜び、興奮。
Beato had only used my fingers, made a keyring dance, and turned the key into a butterfly before hiding it in the locker. But I understood it with my body. If I'd moved my fingers in a different way, the ring could have flown into the air instead of just dancing. And I could have turned it into a scurrying lizard instead of a butterfly. I could have done anything. True, Beatrice's magical power was still weak. It had all happened in the little world behind the backs of the servants who were filled with anti-magic toxin. However, inside that tiny, short-lived world, I could do anything at all. Beato just happened to settle on making them dance and turning the key into a butterfly. But if she wanted to, she could have done anything else. The endless sensation of that free, unrestricted power. I could still feel it in my fingertips. Could it be that along with that sensation, a fragment of that magical power also remains? I can tell. It's still there. There's still just a bit of it, along with that sensation. I can do it. I can still do it. A single spot of golden light suddenly lit up in this dark room. It was right between my clasped hands. When I slowly opened them, I could see a single dot that sparkled gold.
それは、
Shannon didn't know what the light meant. How could light appear from the palm of my hands? And yet, even with this miracle right in front of her, she couldn't understand what it was. She just sat there with her mouth open in disbelief. However, to me, this was just the return of that bit of sensation in my fingertips. The golden dot spread out and became a small butterfly. It flapped its wings and scattered gold sparks about like a cartoon fairy. To Shannon, it probably just looked as though a gold butterfly was flapping its wings. Of course, that alone was a miracle that she could hardly grasp. But to me, it was like a remote control plane in the shape of a butterfly. I could control that gold butterfly however I wanted, not clumsily with treads. I could make it flap, dance, play through the air as I wish. I was taking a walk through the air as that little butterfly. The golden glint of it pierced the darkness of the small room as it danced about freely. It was an entrancing pleasure. However, the sensation in my fingers began to weaken. I could tell that the few magic butterfly scales left in my fingers were going away. Finally, the gold butterfly flashed and turned to dust like a firework run out of juice, falling down and disappearing without a trace.
今のは一体。これが魔法。すごく楽しいよ。魔法。魔法。私の指にまだ少しだけ魔法が残ってたから使えた。でも本当の魔女になればもっともっと自由自在に何でもできる。もう私はこの楽しさを覚えてしまったの。もう人間には戻りたくない。使用人なんて退屈なの。耐えられない。だから魔女になるよ。魔女になるって、待って。もう決めたの、シャノン。今日まで楽しかった。この部屋をあげるね。あなた一人で使って。じゃあね。
So this is the day Shannon became the servant, I mean.
さようなら。
As Yasu became the witch, right? I wonder how it happened though, right? Like what, like how did, or how do I say this? Like of course, yeah, Yasu was a servant, right? And then yeah, what happened then? Like, oh, I'm gonna be Shannon now. Like what did Natsuhi say? What did Kumasawa say? I mean, I guess for Kumasawa and let's say Genji as well, maybe they just played along, right? But yeah, how about the other people? But then again, I guess Shannon was already there, right? Because yeah, was it Azne or Belne? That mentioned Shannon already, right? They said Yasu, Shannon, and to Kumasawa. So meaning Shannon was already, I guess, a servant here. And then maybe they just alternate. Sometimes it's gonna be Yasu, sometimes it's gonna be Shannon. But this time around, Yasu is gonna be out of the picture, at least as being a servant. It's gonna be Shannon full time now. As Shannon called out repeatedly for me to wait, a massive planetarium swallowed me up. In the sea of the pitch black starry sky, I was alone. We are alone here.
使用人ごっこはもうやめる。
I am done acting the part of the servant. Okay, there we go.
世界を変更。
Acting.
了解したぞ。それではいかようにしたものか。
シャノンのような素敵な使用人も悪くはない。でも、魔女の楽しさを知ってしまったら、もうそれは退屈な憧れ。
So let's say, the role of being a full-time servant was now passed to Shannon. Instead of it being both of them, it's now Shannon, and then her, she's gonna be a witch.
もう戻れない。
シャノンはどうするのか？
シャノンはシャノンで、これからも尊敬される使用人でいてくれればいい。
See, Shannon can just be Shannon. Stay as a respected servant.
彼女は彼女のままで。
She'll stay the same.
ただ、
これからは私と二人ではなく、彼女だけになるけれど。
別れは唐突にであるな。まあよい。気まぐれな方が人生は退屈せぬというものよ。さればどうする？
魔女がやりたい。ベアトがやりたい。
しかしわらわがすでにベアトリーチェであるぞ。
あなたが魔女で、私の友人という設定はそのままで、ベアトは私ということに世界を変更する。
I'm modifying the world so that Beato is me, and then her, she's gonna be up.
つまりわらわはベアトリーチェの友人の魔女ということになるのか？
A demon.
そんな感じ。
Pretty much.
だからあなたは今からベアトリーチェじゃない魔女。
わかった。ではわらわの新しい名前は何とする？
Gap.
ふさわしい名前が思いつくまで保留にする。
So I guess she doesn't know those names yet, that's why.
しばらくは名なしで。
Nameless for now.
ごめんね。
よいよい。せっかくの名前だ。熟考してもらわねば困るというもの。
あなたはベアトリーチェが幼く、まだ魔法が使えない頃からの友人。私のものを隠したりしてからかっていたことが縁の始まり。
なるほど。それがやがて魔法に目覚めたベアトリーチェの対等な友人となるわけか。ではわらわは少しお姉さん的な立場の友人であるな。
そんな感じ。喋り方、どうしようかな。
ベアトリーチェの一人称はわらわですっかり馴染んでしまったな。そなたに譲るか？
わらわという言葉遣いは私が引き継ぐ。
わかったぞ。ではわらわも、いやいや、これからはわらわではないな。
Warawa.
私もベアトリーチェの姉的立場である魔女の友人にふさわしい喋り方を探しておくことにする。
いや、
なかなかの貫禄。
私の、いや、わらわの容姿はどうしたものか。
Warawa.
そうだな。私は真っ赤な魔女という感じであるからな。赤以外の雰囲気でまとめてみてはどうか。
ベアトリーチェは夜の屋敷を徘徊するとき、白い人影の姿をすることが多い。
Oh, so, Claire. White, right?
やはり亡霊といえば白がイメージか。
白いドレスの魔女。イメージをまとめてみる。
So that's how Claire's, character was born. Okay. Like she needed a form. I need a different look than the witch in the demon red dress. A white noble witch. Unlike the time with the red witch, I'm thinking about my own look now. So I'd like to make it beautiful and cute if I can. A white dress, a noble look. Like one of the noble blood, but with a dark sarcastic streak. No, she's like a tomboy princess, so her voice is a mix of formality and rudeness. Then the dress should be the exact opposite to make a nice contrast. There we go. There's Claire. But yeah, Claire's face, honestly, it's
このような姿ではどうか。
Her face is basically, yeah, the same face as Beatrice. It's just like everything else is different. But, or yeah, I mean the Golden Witch Beatrice, right? Or Beatrice Castiglione. The face is the same.
これが新しいベアトリーチェの姿なの？
Okay, so let's take a break here for now. And yeah, I guess this is how Yasu became the witch itself, the Golden Witch. I mean, not, it's probably say not Golden Witch for now, but yeah, the witch for now. And then Shannon became, instead of the imaginary friend, she had became a fully her own person, I guess, and became a fully servant after this. But yeah, seeing this, honestly, it's kind of sad, because you can see why she's doing this. Like, Yasu doesn't have, as I was saying earlier, she doesn't have anyone in her life, and this is what happens technically. As I mean, yeah, ever since she was very young. It's sad, honestly. Yeah, it really is sad. Like she's creating all of this stuff for her to be happy. But yeah, we're gonna see more though, right? We're gonna see more. I can't wait to see, I guess, the interactions with, yeah, let's say interactions with Butler, right? And the other characters like George, like Jessica. Can we move forward to that part? I want to see that. Yeah, I want to see how that stuff happens. I can't wait for that, because that's gonna be different though, especially with Butler, right? I mean, we're definitely gonna be seeing what Butler promised her, or how it happened in these memories, correct? I can't wait to see that. We need to see that. Okay, so anyways, we're gonna continue this and do more of Umineko When They Cry, episode 7 in the next one. So I'll just see you then, guys. Bye bye.